welcome to On The Verge podcast episode 2. We're here with Matty and Ross from Quiten Francis.
Well,
hello.
Hey.
How's it going,
Hello.
guys?
Yeah, going well in the circumstances. Can't really complain. I've been keeping healthy and keeping myself busy, so...
Yeah, not too bad either. Just cracking on, you know.
Both looking cool.
Do our best.
Oh, you know, fresh trim just for you guys.
Matty's new haircut.
Yeah, no, it's just, I've had long hair for years, so it's just nice to have a change. I cut it a bit short a couple of months ago, just before quarantine, then let it grow out, and then I just got sick of it being so long.
And then I borrowed Matty's hair, which is why mine is ridiculously long.
And mine's just going grey. And Alex, let's have a quick conversation about your hair.
Yeah, my hairstyles are slow maintenance. Well, high maintenance at the same time. Every 2 days. So, and you guys, have you been up to much in the quarantine with in regards to writing and obviously you've not been able to perform together? And
How are you breaking up? Start a question again, please, mate.
Yeah.
Breaking up a little bit.
Have you guys been up to? Oh, so my internet's not very good at the minute. It's I don't know what's wrong with your computer. Have you guys been up to any writing or anything in the quarantine?
We've been back and forth with each other. We've been sending each other tracks over email, and so we've been recording stuff on Logic and GarageBand, and then just sending it between each other. It's been all right, to be fair. Ross has been sending over some stuff. Had a couple of tracks from Luke. We've just been trying to piece together what we can even though we're in the separate houses.
Yeah. I've sort of had the problem of balancing it with uni work and everything, but I started off like writing some tracks, and then I realised like I got a load of deadlines I got to finish. But I'll have them done in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be back to sending Matty a load of really small demos like, can you do anything with this? And he was like, no.
But it has been interesting, to be fair, seeing because normally it's the sort of thing when we write, we tend to write together in a room. So it is interesting seeing what ideas everyone's been coming up with when they've just been on their own and sending it over.
It does feel very different, like the stuff I've been writing by myself. As
Yeah.
opposed to, like when I'm with Matty, it'll be like very poppy, and then I've come out with like, I wrote a demo at end of March, and it has like a full orchestra section in it at the end, and yeah, it's just weird.
I found a lot of the tracks you've been sending over have been very like psychedelic influenced, almost Templesy,
Nice.
like the band Temples. It's very down that sort of route. That's something that I found really interesting about your writing, is how you're going down more that track when you're on your own. And it's great, to be fair. I've been loving it. Some weird ass synths coming over.
Yeah. I think I'll write a song, and then I'll just sort of then go, right, what synths can I add to this to make it a bit weird? Or I'll just put a weird phase shift on like the drums or the bass that doesn't fit, but it sounds kind of cool.
That's ways to do it.
Yeah.
Fair play. So how did you guys actually decide to form together? Because you're all in separate bands, like all of you are in separate bands. So how did it come about that you came together as Quiten Francis?
It all came about because I do loads of recording at home. I've got it's nowhere near like a studio, but it's just a little setup that I have stuff to record mics. Wow. Record drums, vocals, and bits of drums and things. And because I have all that at home, I used to just sit about and do loads of writing. Some of it would back then I only had a Sunset Beach up. And I'd send them over the tracks, and their big issues would either be it didn't fit with the vibe of Sunset, because if you've heard any of Quentin, it's very different to the style of the Sunset Beach, or it was the thing of I'd written everything, and obviously then I feel a bit mean that I've taken Ben's part and fully written it for him, or taken Afra's part and written the vocals or something. But I just had all these ideas sparking, so I sort of ended up, I looked at this USB one day and just saw I had like 40 tracks that were just sitting there. And so I just started putting them together and fully forming them as finished tracks, and then wanted to gig it. So I first of all asked Ross to come join because we'd done Echo Beach together. So he was an obvious choice. I mean, we got on really well. He was the right style of music, good friend of mine. So got him involved. After that, I then got James from Ladama. Once again, I've been friends with Ladama since pretty much their first gig and one of our first gigs as well. We just had a gig together at the Flapper. And so I talked to James because, once again, really close mates, and just went, look, I'm doing this project. At that time, I was just looking for a session musician. So I was like, come play this one gig with all of them. So it was all three of them. I was like, just come play this one gig with me. And we did that gig, and we just had such a good reaction. And all the crowd were loving it. And afterwards, it was sort of in the practices. And afterwards, I thought about it. I was like, I don't want to do session musicians for this anymore. I really want this to be the band. We all work really well together, even though I was sort of the sticky substance. I was kind of the glue. That's the one. I was the glue that like connected everyone, because obviously they were all from different bands and had bits to. Because Luke's from Sunset Beach, so that's how I knew Luke. I didn't know if that was a bit obvious, but yeah. So Luke's in Sunset. And yeah, so from then I just went, look, I really want to keep us all together as a full band. Would you guys be down for it? And we had a little sit down over a good old Spoons breakfast. And yeah, they all decided that they'd want to stick with Quentin. And that's how it eventually became a proper band rather than just being my project. And since then we've done writing together and things. So it's become more of a band since then, because we've actually got songs that are songs rather than were my songs that I brought to Quentin.
So that's interesting. And so you all write the songs together?
We try to when we can. We've got 3 tracks, I want to say, that are like proper, that are written by us as a full band. And yeah, they were all written at practice studios pretty much. One was written at Ross's house, but most of them were written at practice studio and just working together, because we all have reasonably different influences of what we listen to. So we all bring those parts to the songs, and it just makes it very different than something that we could what we're doing, having to do now, where it's all writing separately.
But then the thing as well is, like, with the songs that Matty brought to us, we played them how he had it for the first gig, I think, and then over time we just gradually added our own bits to it and our own twists. So like Matty had Nature, which was originally just a purely acoustic song. It was just going to be Matty on stage, then we join in. And then I was like, well, what if you just add a little bit of guitar over the top? And then we were like, and then we can bring the drums in, and then the bass slides in, and then we were like, now it's a completely different song. But it was still, it kind of just works like that. I think we all just sort of bounce ideas around the room and it sort of sticks.
The 4 of you definitely click.
Build
You can
the
see
bones outwards.
a great relationship between the 4 of you. And is it James the drummer, isn't it?
James is the drummer, James.
He
plays in
the
Ladama.
drummers I've ever seen.
How dare you? I thought that was me.
Yeah, you definitely the happiest in the band, but it's always, you both got decent chemistry to it between each of you. You can see that.
Sorry,
mate, carry on.
No, what I was going to say was that was my big thing. That was why we had the first few practices and we had that first gig, and that was why it originally came about I want them to stay as the band, because we all we all came from different bands, and none of us, I knew all 3 of them, but they didn't know each other that well. And when we all came together, it did just click. We all got on really well. Every single practice was an absolute laugh. And yeah, we all just got it. It couldn't have worked out any better, really, with how well we all glued together, gelled together, whatever you want to say.
How do you balance your time between bands? Because also, you're man of many talents, aren't you? You do drum for Pet as well, don't you?
I drum for Pet as well, yeah. So I've done, and so I just, it's a busy one. You say I manage my time, I don't. I work in the daytime, obviously. I have weekends off, so I've got a job that's Monday to Friday. But I sort of do that job, and as soon as the day's over, pretty much every day of the week, I'm driving from Shrewsbury all the way up to Birmingham. I've got practice with one of the bands, or I'm doing something music related, and it's just hectic. I barely get any sleep. I don't normally get home from Birmingham until 1 a.m. Then I'm getting up at 6 to go to get ready for work and things, and it's tiring, but it's what I enjoy. It's good fun. It's good fun.
Got the passion to keep you motivated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Got to have something to do other than my full-time job. So,
how did you come up with the name Quentin Francis.
Is this me again?
Yeah.
It's quite an
So
unusual name.
yeah, it did come from somewhere, but didn't come from somewhere. There's two parts to it. So the first part is the fact that I say always, I really like it when a band is called a name, but it isn't a member of the band. Off the top of my head, right, there's a few, but I can't think of the right. But off the top of my head right now, that's just like Biffy Clyro type things. So like Biffy Clyro sounds like it's just one person. Same with what's his name? The one who did that. What? Lucas Graham. Lucas Graham is a 7-piece band, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that one, but Biffy Clyro is an obvious one. But it's that sort of thing. It's that idea of having a name that almost sounds like a person, and I just think it's a really cool thing for a band name is to have a name person. And the actual name Quentin Francis came about because me and my girlfriend were talking about kids and stuff like that, just as a topic that we were joking about, and I just really like Quinn, so I was like, oh, we call it Quinn. And then my grandpa's called Francis Frank, so I was like, so it'd be Quentin Francis Smith, and she was like, no, I will never call my child that. That is just a big no. So I was like, fine, if I can't call my child that, I'll call my other baby that, which is my band. So that's where the name came from. But yeah, it's that idea of the band sounding like the name of one person, but it's more people, because it's that nice thing of when you're a band, you are one person. You just all gel and become one being. So that's what that is.
If I'm honest, I hated the name at the beginning. I just couldn't think of anything better.
I
And
was
then
unsure when you first told me.
Yeah, it just sort of, it kind of, as it started to have a ring to it, I was like, it does actually kind of sound a bit cool. And then we've also agreed that if we end up getting a fifth member, we'll be called the Quentin Francis Quintet. So that's partly selling me on it.
It's got like a sort of a folk sound to it. If you
I love
will.
it.
I think so, anyway. What about you, Ross? You've been talking about baby names.
No. But
You have to think about that then.
I've got a solid rule that, like, my surname I don't feel like many names go with it. So I just sort of go with my middle name as a safe bet. So I'm just going to call it Oliver if I have a boy.
You could go for Ross the Second.
Or Ross Jr.,
Junior.
yeah. Then I can be Ross Senior. But no, that's not a conversation that's happening yet.
Yet.
You got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
But yeah, that's where the
So
name.
It does suit you, actually, to be honest. Well,
how's the lockdown affected you gig-wise? Have you had to cancel pretty much your whole summer, or have you still kept some around September and everything?
They're pretty much all cancelled. We've had a few that have been rescheduled, I'm pretty sure, we had 4 gigs lined up, I think it was, and all 4 were obviously cancelled.
Yeah, we've just had Sea Monsters. We were going to be main support for the Sea Monsters, but that's been cancelled indefinitely. The only one we've got rescheduled at the minute is with Neon Waltz. But again, we don't know whether that's going to go ahead yet. But that's been rescheduled to October. So maybe.
That's Dead Wax.
Yes, yeah.
Where every single one of our gigs seems to be at the minute.
Yeah, we sort of it used to be the thing of all the gigs used to be at the Sunflower Lounge, and now every gig we've had offered or played recently has been at Dead Wax, and it seems to be the thing. It's like
to be fair though, do love Dead Wax.
So it's a great little venue, isn't it?
It's
Beautiful.
I love the place.
You've got the outside as well to get away for a little bit. You've got
Yeah.
Downstairs, yeah. I think they just need to be open a little bit later.
They close early, which is why they have an earlier finish for their gigs, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to find out why.
I just love all the fake heads downstairs, all the massive paper mache heads. They're great.
Oh, it's so weird. It's brilliant.
Well, I'm gonna have to press mute. So, got a cough. Save deafening you.
Thanks.
So you had a one of your songs that was unnamed last time we saw you.
Oh yeah,
I mean, to be fair, that's most of our songs still at the minute, but
I think we had three or four unnamed songs. Yeah, four, and we made
I think
up
it was
three.
the song you started the gig off at Dead
Yeah.
Rocks when we
Yeah.
We pulled together a name for three of them for the video, but then the first one is unofficially called Surf Rock Boy, just because it's a bit surf rocky and we haven't got a name for it yet.
that song we literally finished writing. I think it was day before that gig, and we are just like, "Oh, we'll chuck it in at the beginning; it'll be alright." So we just didn't have a name for it; it had just been written. I'm pretty sure I finished the lyrics that morning.
It terrified me playing that.
I think I've done that a few times back in the day.
Oh, that's for our first gig.
way to
Literally,
take it,
I was still finishing off the lyrics coming on the day of the gig because like all of them were songs that were completely finished, minus like little bridge part with vocals. And some of the songs that we did for our first ever gig were just like finished on the day.
That's the thing. Like my old band Echo Beach, like we had a solid set that we had rehearsed like over and over and over again. We had it to a point. And with Quentin, it's just like, oh, I've written a new song, we should play it. And we're like, yeah, all right. And we just completely wing it half the time.
Add that element of risk.
Makes it exciting, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the things I'd love to get to with Quentin is the point where, because we've got it with Sunset at the minute, and I'm pretty sure he got to that point with Echo Beach as well, where you might have 6 gigs coming up, but at every single gig you're going to be playing exactly the same set, exactly the same songs. I'd love to get to the point where we have, say, 12 to 15 songs ready, complete, where we can just like interchange them. And that's what we're trying to use this time for, is to add those songs in so that when we go to a gig, there's certain ones that like, it'll be like Movies and Work and probably Molly that will stay in the set the entire time, but then we can bring in other songs depending on who we're supporting or who's supporting us or what type of gig it is. And also if we just we've played this song a few times, it'd be nice to make a change. We can just swap and change songs, which would be nice because then it just means that every gig isn't exactly the same.
Yeah, keeps you nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Living on the edge, Matty. That's how
Gotta try. Gotta add some sort of excitement.
Do you fancy going into the quiz?
Yeah.
Is it me versus Ross?
No, it's
both of you work together, and
we got this.
like so, we'll possibly do a little bit of a leaderboard, about like a band leaderboard.
Then we have to win it.
Oh yeah, we've been doing quizzes with some of our mates. So it's been with some of the boys of Quentin, some of the boys of Sunset, and some other people. And we've been doing little quizzes with that. And to be fair, I think pretty much every time I've come last.
Honestly, I did a quiz with my. I was on a family FaceTime the other day, and my mum had put a quiz together for my niece and nephew, who are 10 and 5, and they beat me.
Oh, Ross.
Just on little stupid things like I forgot how many planets there were, and one of them.
That's easy to do.
Honestly, the worst question was how many. What was it? How many sides does a triangle have? And part of me just sort of spaced out, and I wrote triangle. I wish I knew what happened there, but
it's all the music in you. It's that psychedelia that you're working on.
It's
messing with your brain cells.
Space, yeah.
It is once you leave school, uni or anything like that, I think it does start to slip away.
It's downhill from here, really.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you only got to look at me. That's how it happens.
And Bliss is a 1980 single by which band? The Cowboy Junkies, The Dudes, or Rush?
I might put this one on Ross because I
can
actually
have
know one. I've actually heard of one of the answers. I've genuinely heard of one of the answers.
Yeah, 1 in 3 chance, mate. What we're going for?
Like I said, the only one I know out of those 3 is C. I've never heard of A and B. No offense.
C it is.
It's B, The Dudes.
Oh.
An Australian band.
Ah.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Oh, if you've heard of it.
Crooked Rain is an album by which 90s indies band?
I think it's the Flaming Lips.
Oh, I'd go with that because once again, like the last one, Flaming Lips is the only one I've heard of.
But I don't. Yeah.
Come on,
what you're
lads.
settling on?
Yes.
It's B. Pavement.
Yeah, no, I would have guessed that.
Yeah, no.
I'm not massively. Apparently, they were quite big in the 90s. An American band. And they've influenced a fair few people.
Yeah, so you should have known that. For God's
Oh, I love hockey. I love all three of these bands.
I love all three of these bands.
Who took their name from a video game in an episode of The Simpsons? Is it Hokey Dad, Sports Team, or Black Honey?
I know where Modern Baseball got their name from. Well, you know a lot about Black Honey. Do you think that sounds like Black Honey?
It doesn't sound like Black Honey.
Sports Team, it wouldn't surprise me.
But Hokey Dad sounds like a sort of Simpsons joke.
But, yeah, that's what I mean.
And we've had 2 Bs already, so I'm going to say Hokey Dad.
We're gonna go for Hockey Dad then, are we? Yeah, I'll go with that because I don't know about Black Honey, but I agree with you with the I'll go with Hockey Dad.
If it's Black Honey, I'm ashamed of myself.
You should be.
Well, unfortunately, it is. No,
What?
Hockey Dad.
Yes, we got one right.
Yes.
You got one right.
I'm
Finally,
rooting for you, lads. Come on.
James will be proud of us. He loves Hockey Dad, doesn't he?
No, I'm the Hokey Dad fan. James is Modern Baseballs with you.
I swore James loved Hockey Dad as well. Hey ho.
He might do. I just think you
You
sound
know
like
what?
Hockey Dad.
I'm glad.
Love Modern Baseball.
I actually originally wrote the question for Modern Baseball.
Oh, come
And I
on.
decided to change it because I thought it might be too easy.
See, that would have just put a down on my whole thing, I think, if I'd have got that one wrong, if it would be Modern Baseball.
Don't. Black Honey is my favourite band of all time. Imagine if I'd got
Yeah.
that completely wrong.
I'd have been crying on the floor if it had been them.
What's the real name of Stone Roses drummer, Rennie? Is it Alan Renning, B, Ronaldo Sim, or C, Alan Wren?
See, I feel like because of the spelling, A looks the best, but I'm happy to go for
towards C.
I'm happy to go. That's what I was going to say. I'm happy to go for C as well. But I feel like B could be thrown in as a curveball because it's just got nothing. Oh no, it does. Ronaldo, Rennie.
C.
Second name seems more likely.
I'm hearing a C coming into my head somewhere.
It could be fooling us. Could be fooling us.
He could be deceiving us. But he kind of wants us to win. I'm very conflicted.
I'm happy to go for that though, if you want.
C.
There we go.
C. Good answer.
Hey.
C, Alan Wren.
Well done, lads.
I thought so.
What was the Foo Fighters' third album? Is it One by One? There's Nothing Left to Lose, or The Colour and the Shape?
I feel like A. I feel like it's A.
A? I'll go with A. I have no
I
idea.
think.
Oh.
So what are we settling with?
I'm going to be wrong here. I know it.
It's just B.
Yeah.
There's nothing
There we
left to lose.
Oh,
Damn it,
I'm not
no.
sure about that one.
I'm sorry.
If Trav was here, he'd know. From
Yeah.
He'd
It's
love Fighters.
It's been years since I've actually listened to Foo Fighters. Oh, yeah.
Mike,
Beach Boys.
Yeah, I was going to say A.
I don't want to bother reading it out.
There we go. Nailed that one.
You've got to read it out, Al. You've got to read it out for me.
Mike Love, Brian Wilson, Al Jardine, and Bruce Johnson make up what band?
I mean, it's got to
A,
be the
Beach
Backstreet Boys,
B,
obviously.
the Beastie Boys, or C, the Backstreet Boys?
Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I was meant to be going to see Brian Wilson in June.
Where was my invite?
I was taking my dad.
I don't care. Where was my invite?
Well, I was getting guest list to review it, and I was going to take my dad because he loves the Beach Boys, and now we can't.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hopefully, if it gets rescheduled next year or something.
Pub Feed and Dine and Dash are songs from which Australian band?
Once again,
Wolfmother,
I've only heard on.
Chats, or Gang of Youths?
Once again, I've only heard of one of these.
Which one you heard of?
The Chats.
Yeah.
Have you heard of any of the others, Ross?
No.
Going well.
How many of each letter have we had? Let's work it out.
Well, this one's probably should be a C then.
Let's go.
No.
No, not C.
I reckon you should go with the one you probably heard.
I'll go for the. Do you reckon we should go for B?
Yeah. Stick with what you know, right? You know.
You going for B?
Yep, only one we've heard of.
All I want, all I need, all I want is a good pub feed. Yeah, it's the Chats.
Well, hey.
That's it. You're doing well. Are you taking
What?
the school down now?
I'm
You
not,
haven't
mate.
heard
No, I
of,
thought you had
Wolfmother?
Well, so far we've got 2 out of whatever.
I thought we were getting them all right. Have I been in another quiz?
I think you've got 3 so far.
Oh, 3. Better than I thought.
Oh, yeah, because we got Beach Boys, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
More bands I don't listen to. Wonderful.
Right, these are probably the 3
I think
worst
this is
bands.
the
in the world.
last question. Yeah?
Is this the last? No, there's another question after this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, who released the album The Second Law? Radiohead, U2, or Muse?
Yeah, honestly, I listened to Muse, but not like albums. I listened to certain songs, but I wouldn't know if that was an album by them or. Yeah, you got any clue, Ross?
I don't. I want to say Radiohead, but I don't know why. I'm sort of leaning that way. Purely on a hunch.
See, it could be Muse.
So I think Wayne just shook his head at me and then he's nodding now, so I'm going to go with Muse.
It's supposed to be helping me. You've just grasped on me. Right. I've actually gone to school with you.
Cheating going on.
I say nothing. I don't know, actually. All I know is there are definitely 3 boring bands there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Radiohead had that one good song, but
I'm a creep.
Oh, I know you are.
No, that wasn't a clue, by the way.
That wasn't a hint.
And yeah,
I-
you can't sing.
what was it?
I feel like C.
Go
I
on.
feel like we might as well go with C.
You've got that right.
Yes.
Way.
we're really good at this. We just chat shit until you give us the answer, and it kind of works.
I think it's that we chat too much. They're trying to shut us up, so just give us the answer.
Yeah,
Oh, I know this one as well.
I feel like I know this as well.
Oh, and I remember
Say
hearing
it.
about this.
Are from which UK city? Leeds, Leicester, or Lincoln?
Oh no, this one.
I feel like it's Lincoln, but
I think Leicester.
do you think like go for Leicester then? I'm happy to go for Leicester.
I don't think it's Leeds.
I'm happy to go for Leicester if you think it's Leicester.
Yeah,
We'll go for Leicester then, B.
go with Leicester.
That's
Go
correct.
for Leicester. Beautiful.
Oh, was it right?
Nailed it.
Hey!
Yeah, fudge.
mean-
Winning Days and Get Free are songs from which artist? The Vines, The Verve, or Ocean Colour Scene?
I wanna get free. I wanna get.
I mean, I don't know about you, Ross, but once again, only know one of them.
You only know one of those
You having a laugh?
Pardon?
You only
you
know
know
one
one
of
of
those bands.
Yeah,
Which one?
genuinely. Like I feel like someone needs to send me like music because I've got like I was saying earlier, I've just got a very odd. I listen to odd bands. It's not odd music. It's just odd bands.
All that American stuff you're listening to. Right.
Yeah,
You've
maybe.
got some binge listening to do then, because there's 3 great bands there.
Mm.
I've seen them all live as well.
Ooh.
I want to say it's the Vines. The way you sang it sounded a lot rockier. So I'm going to say the Vines.
I'm going to get some stick for this. I know I'm for giving you clues. Yep, that's the
Yeah,
Vines.
it is.
Actually, that wasn't a
Chief,
giveaway
you're
clue, though. You weren't going,
I know, yeah. Right then, that's the end of that then. So
Quality.
Brilliant. So 1, 2,
Beautiful. So what's the points, man?
6.
Full marks.
Yeah, brilliant, lads. If you got anything you want to plug or anything like that, bear in mind it's going to be out in about 3 or 4 days or something like that.
Go follow us on social media: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Quentin Francis Band.
We'll put all the links up as well.
Yeah,
We have a great gig recorded by you guys, so go watch that.
Brilliant. Yeah, great gig. We're going to do it again anyway. We'll do when we're laid out again. We'll,
yeah.
hopefully
we've
we'll be
got some
a bit
new
more
songs.
prepared.
Oh, quick one to plug. To be fair, keep looking out on our Instagrams and things. I think it's going to be too late for the one tomorrow because tomorrow I've got a live stream with Indie Midlands, but I can't think of the date. But I've got one with the Sunflower Lounge on like the 29th or the 27th or something. So
to do with
They're all-
Music Awards.
no, the one tomorrow I think does, but only because of the Indie Midlands Association with like the Indie Midlands is helping out with the Birmingham Music Awards, and I'm doing it with Indie Midlands. So I'm guessing that would be slightly linked, but the other one's just with Sunflower Lounge. I'm pretty sure it's more of a save the venue type thing. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been enjoying doing them. I've done 2 so far, I think. 2, 3, 2, I think it is. And got a couple more to come and things like that. But they're weird but enjoyable doing the little acoustic gigs from home because they're good fun because you're still doing music to people, but very peculiar because there's no one there as an audience, technically.
We're trying to work out a way to like get us all involved. So like, because before it's just been Matty, so we're trying to work out like we're gonna hopefully sort of record some backing tracks for him to play along to.
Well, thanks for joining us and cheers for chatting and taking part in the quiz. And thanks for watching. And I'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.